Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So I'm Yoande Faline for those who don't know, and I'm going to dive straight into today's topic, which is all about success. And the question of success versus failure can seem super binary, right? And really obvious. You either are successful or you failed. However, we know that it's really not, right? So, what if instead I told you that the art of consistently creating success is within every single person's grasp, regardless of your industry, your sector, your role, and it's something that you can easily start to do tomorrow? Interested? Of course. So, today I'm going to use a really simple example to break down how you can become a success creator, just like the most effective leaders out there that we often see. And going back a couple of years, as a McKinsey consultant, I had the privilege of sitting in the room where it was all happening. I sat alongside CEOs, MDs, and their CXOs, advising them on their most challenging problems. In addition to doing all of that fun consulting work, this also gave me a really interesting opportunity and loads of those opportunities to watch how different leaders operate. So I observed how they show up to meetings, what they say, how they said it, what they did. Over 3 years, I collated quite a lot of data points. Irrespective of personality type, preference, industry, or sector, there was always a clear difference between the most effective leaders who seem to effortlessly sprinkle their magic dust that creates success everywhere that they go, and then those who had loads of experience and knowledge but weren't able to create the same type of impact or the size of impact. So let's break this down a little bit. All right. Um, and think about the secret of those success creating leaders. The average leader often comes into meetings unprepared. So, yes, they come into meetings equipped with the experience, the knowledge that they need to contribute to the conversation, and they're great at what they do. And if the discussion veers towards their area of expertise, they speak up and they shine and they are great and they show up as leaders. However, when I say that they're unprepared, they are unprepared as leaders because they come into the meeting without an agenda. So, like many other ambitious professionals, this makes them contributors, not success creators. And those are two very different things, right? A contributor comes in to contribute, which many of us, and you may be feeling this as well when you go into meetings, are you looking at creating success or are you contributing? So the average leader or the typical leader goes in ready to make a contribution as opposed to creating success. And the average leader does this because they assume that if it's not their meeting, then it's not their responsibility to set the agenda. And you may have felt this as well, right? You're going into someone else's meeting. So it's not my place to, take the lead and set the agenda, right? After all, you don't want to step on someone else's toes. And it is the meeting invitee's responsibility to set the agenda and make sure the right people are in the room. And it's also their responsibility to contribute their opinion and expertise or to contribute your opinion and expertise when the time calls for it, right? That's how you add value. And that's how the average leader adds value. The success creating leader, on the other hand, comes in with a very different approach. She or he comes into every single meeting prepared, and they always have an agenda and are 100% clear about what they want to get out of the meeting. So I know a while ago there was a lot of talk about like, how effective are you in the meetings? Are we having too many meetings going on? The success creator is not going to any meeting where they don't feel like they're going to be adding value or where they're going to contribute to that success, because for them, the focus is success. And if their agenda, whatever agenda they go into the meeting, is not on the table, then they raise it at the start of the meeting. This is not about taking over the meeting, but it's raising what they feel is important to create the success. If there's no clear agenda, then they take the reins and make sure that everyone's on the same page. And they're not fearful about doing this. They have a lot of confidence in this because, again, their focus is on helping to create success for themselves, for their people, for the organization. And if there were too many items on the agenda, then they stop the meeting and they help the group to prioritize. Again, these are success creating habits and actions. The success creating leader's priority is to consistently move themselves, their team, and their company forward towards success. And their actions reflect that. So they see this as their key responsibility as a leader and to use different techniques to achieve that success. So this is not just about contributing. Again, they have loads of experience, loads of knowledge, and they will pull that in when needed. But their primary focus is not just on being a contributor, but on focusing their efforts, whether it's meetings, actions, mentorship, whatever it is, on achieving success. And this does, again, not mean that they take control of every single meeting and they take over every meeting. Remember, they're using various tools to create and techniques as they need to create that success. But they are prepared to do so, i.e. to take over the meeting or to kind of take a little bit of the reins if needed, right? And it all starts with being super prepared with an agenda. So your agenda, here's a 5-minute thing that you can start to do today to be a success creator, right? Like success creating leaders, having an agenda for every single meeting, interaction, activity you go to is really, really important. And the reason that they're able to do that is because they understand self-leadership. Oops. And when we think about self-leadership and mastering self-leadership, then it's about understanding yourself well enough to know what is it I am trying to achieve, right? Getting clarity is a skill. If you've ever been in a moment where you lack clarity, you're not sure why you're going to a meeting, you're not sure what you want to get out of it, how effective can you be in that meeting, right? So the success creating leader creates, learns or masters self-leadership so that regardless of where they go into, they can actually prompt themselves to create the agenda that's needed to create success for the group. And because they understand that for themselves, i.e. self-leadership, they can then do that for other people. All right. So the first step to consistently creating that success and being really clear about what that success is to understand how to lead yourself and how to lead other people to that success. And that requires understanding and creating an agenda that reflects the thing that you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to achieve going in and contributing, yeah, that's great. Contributions are interesting and they're important, but they don't necessarily lead to success. If you tie your contribution to that success, then that's a slightly different case, right? And if you aren't sharing this with your team, right, then what are the odds that you're all going to achieve this together? So if you're able to create success for yourself, i.e. the self-leadership mastery piece, but you aren't able to create it for your teams, then there's a lot of lost potential there. Okay. If you want to shift from being that contributor to a success creator, right, who masters self-leadership and leading yourself to achieve success regardless of what's going on, and then you're also able to master people leadership, which is leading meetings, conversations, activities, so that you're able to help people have a clear agenda, have clarity on what you're trying to achieve, and then also create that success for themselves, for their teams, for your company, and you want to figure out what that looks like for you, then let's chat. Shoot me a DM. LinkedIn is usually the best place for me. And yeah, just put a note that says success creator, just so I know where this came from. And I'd love to have a chat to see how we can help you to be a success creating leader as well. All right. Take care, stay safe, stay focused, and stay energized.